Hey everyone, Tarot Master Mika here. I'm going to be answering questions. Good to see y'all. I've never done anything like this, so I'm pretty excited. So we'll see how it goes. First thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and just pull one card just to be kind of a guiding light for the entirety of our session. And we'll see how it fits into our individual questions as they come along. So we get the Ace of Cups. All about flow, all about the roots of our emotions and going deep inside of ourselves and understanding why we feel, and about the flow of life. So this is what we're going to have as our broad theme: how life flows, how you can be involved positively with life's flow. So we will definitely see how it goes. Now, first question is here. It is from Christina, and it is about her ex Raymond, who is with another woman right now. And they haven't spoken since December, despite Christina really wanting to talk and reconcile things. Will he contact me or ever come back soon? And it ends, but it says just to say, so we get the gist of it. So let's go ahead and answer the direct question first. Christina, thank you for coming to see me. We will definitely, I believe the tarot is such a good tool for this sort of thing. So with this, now look at that. We got the Ace of Cups again after a good shuffling. That's one of my favorite things about the tarot. So yes, the seeds of the rebirth of your relationship are already coming. Now, what isn't asked is he a good match for you? Because what we don't want to happen is for him to run off with another woman every time that he gets a feeling or he manufactures some reason to. So is he a good match is what we'll ask now. We'll give a good 3 shuffles and we'll see what the tarot has to say about that. So is he a good match? The 2 of Cups. Well, the tarot endorses it, and it speaks about the flow and to focus on the love, and that the love will be focused on. So I do feel he'll be back, and the cards even give us a sense of timing. It's in the sign of Cancer. Now, that's coming up pretty soon, April, May air time period, and that's when he'll come back. Now, don't reach out to him anymore. Let him come to you. You've said your piece. And in the time between now and then, really think about what needs to happen to heal, because obviously you two are going to have to heal. There's a lot of damage, but with cards like the Ace of Cups, the 2 of Cups, representing the healing force of love, I feel that it's very possible. So definitely, I think that it's a matter of gaining trust. The work involved, the Knight of Wands. This is the obstacle, meaning don't rush it. And if you take the time and you focus on love, and what I mean by love is love for him and love for yourself. Keep this as the main lens that you see this through, and you most definitely will be able to repair. So he's coming back. You'll be able to work on it and talk on it. Think about if he deserves your time, but if you find that you want to give him another chance, then you most absolutely will get a chance to do so. So I hope it helps. And now we have one from Lindsay. And Lindsay wants to know if the man that makes my heart feel at home will contact me soon or feels the same as I do. His name is Rick. So Lindsay and Rick, it looks like, there's probably a deep emotional connection. And a lot of times, Lindsay, I find when things are electrifying at first, sometimes they will pendulum back the other way a little bit because the intensity can go both ways. So let's see if this is something that's like that or if you need to move on. We get the 4 of Cups. Now, isn't that fun? We've had the Ace, the 2, and now we have the 4 of Cups. So the cards are definitely going on a theme. Yes, he is going to contact you soon. And the 4 of Cups is also another card that speaks of the springtime. So we do see by soon, I would imagine it's going to be before the April 20th time period. I do also feel that when he comes back with something like the 4 of Cups, and we're going to pull another card to develop this, we get the 2 of Swords. He is going to be in the mind frame to really talk about your feelings and to put them in a healthy framework. It's not just going to be about how your heart feels. It's going to be about why he disappeared. With the Two of Swords, that's peace restored. And it means if there's been a conflict, this is the absolute best outcome that that conflict could have. So yes, Lindsay, I absolutely think he's going to come back. And I think that his actions and his words are going to be right to be worthy to be your partner. So I hope that helps. Okay, Tyree, will my son's father reach out soon to be part of his life? Oh, I certainly hope so, personally. And then will you get peace between the two of you? And this is Tyree and Matthew. And we get the Eight of Discs, learning from the past, growing stronger from the lessons of the past. So I do believe that this is a situation that is going to find peace. And we're going to pull another card on top of that. And then we get the Six of Discs. So yes, I do feel so. Now the thing about discs, this often for timing can represent a longer period of time. And so as far as him reaching out soon, I do feel like it's going to be this year. And, you know, I want to differentiate between reaching out in a shallow way and then reaching out and stepping up and taking the place that he needs to take. And, you know, I do feel like he'll reach out in the first part. Really taking a look at this, we get the Eight of Wands very soon. And that's a card within the next 10 to 15 days, but it's also very unfocused. Now, when we look at the big picture, is he going to, when he's going to reach out and actually take the step, we get the Chariot. This is the card of the sign Cancer. And as we know, it is coming up very soon. So yes, this situation as well feels as if it's going to resolve. But what I like to do, if a reading looks good, I enjoy that because I want my clients to be happy. But I also want to know what the catch is because as we all know, nothing in life is always perfect. So let me ask what the main obstacle here is. And the Seven of Discs. And it's the fact that love is not enough. You know, it's going to be actual real work. So, you know, it's kind of like if you focus on getting it back to where it was or getting that original feeling back, that's not the way to do it. More so focus on what the future can be. It's not going to look like it did. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be bad or worse or anything, but it's just not going to be like it was. And to try to shape it and to force it into that shape, that's when the energy starts getting funky. So as long as you can accept that, I do feel that within this year, your family is going to be able to be reunited. Charles Robb, will I move to Windsor soon? Let's ask Charles. This is a fun thing. A yes or no is what we're going to do. So we're going to pull one card, and the cards will let us know. So the Nine of Discs. That is always a yes card. It's always a sign to make sure that you're focusing on the smaller particulars, the logistics of it. Obviously, you know, moves can be complicated, but this is really telling us that you have all the resources, all the parts of the situation in order to make this successfully. So as far as timing is soon, the way that it feels now, it's really more like in what I would call the summertime, July, August period. Obviously, you know, take a look at it. If that timing doesn't work, I truly feel that you have everything you need to adjust that. But the way that it's looking now, that's when it seems like it's going to happen. Okay. We have Gunvit here. Can you tell me when will me and my husband reunite and which month? Sure, we could take a look. Now, and if we were doing a schedule reading on Samba, I would want a little more information. You know, your husband's information, etc. How long it's been since you spoke. But we can certainly pull a card and see what sort of relief it can give you. So, in this, we get the Knight of Discs. This represents your husband actually ending up fighting for the relationship. But I got to tell you, it's a card of the fall. So we're really looking at more like the September, October time period. The Ace of Wands. The problem is right now, He wants it to be exactly his way. And there's still this very sense of power struggle instead of finding harmony and happiness in power. And then finally, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a key card, and it represents going through a hard time in order to see deeper truth and a new perspective. And this is your husband. It's hard on you. Obviously, you miss him. You're apart. Maybe you're speaking, maybe you're not. But I know that it's a broken home, and neither of you are happy. So what this Hanged Man especially means is that he himself is hurting, and that pain is allowing him to have a different perspective. We got some pride in the cards, but the Hanged Man speaks about that pride being transformed. And pride's not bad, folks. We should have pride in who we are, in our qualities, in the things we do, if they're worthy of pride. But sometimes pride can get out of hand. And sometimes pride can make us take actions that are against our own best interests. So I always caution against that sort of pride, you know. So I think that with this and with him, have faith. If there's anything that you can do for it, we get the Six of Wands. Focus on what makes you happy and completes you, what your inner self is telling you to go towards. This is not about your relationship. This is about your life. So for you, try to focus on the other areas of life where you can find successes, where you can feel victorious, and let time pass, because this will heal in time and in an organic way. So I hope that helps. So we've had a lot of good readings. Hopefully we don't start pulling rotten cards, but I don't think we will. Candy Love. Will my ex and I get back together? Another situation where if we were doing a live reading, we would want a little more information, but that is perfectly fine. The Prince of Cups. Well, it's not a rotten card, so I didn't jinx myself, but it does represent someone who needs to grow a little bit. And this would be your ex, I feel. I do feel like you're going to get back together, but I think emotionally, the issue is that perhaps they're not at the same level of depth that you are. So when you do get back together, take it a little slow. Pull another card on top of that, the Ten of Cups. And now this would be finding good and happy routines. So when you do reunite, find the simple pleasures. Have a nice meal every Wednesday night, for example. It's not much. It's just a little thing. But in my practice, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've been blessed to see a lot of humanity and a lot of life. And honestly, it's the little things that are really the most beautiful things in life, I find. You can have all the money. You can have all the unique experiences. But if you don't have these touchstone moments, then none of that really means anything. So. Okay, we're switching gears a little bit. I think this is Serene. I hope I pronounced your name right. And it is, will I get a job soon? So this is another yes or no, and very easy peasy. So let's see here. Knight of Wands, very soon, within the month, perhaps within the week. Knight of Wands is a card of movement, of fire, and it really tells me that chances are you've already taken the steps needed to get this job. So yeah, don't lose faith. Keep on pushing. Obviously, I always say, even if the cards say that you've already found the job, just keep pushing until it's in your hot little hand. Keep pushing. But I do feel like good news soon. The Knight of Wands, very fast communication, so you may even get good news within a matter of days, perhaps the first part of the next week. So. Rachel, my partner left me a while back, and I'm struggling since. Will things improve for me? And there's a little more here, and I'll go into the second part. Yes, not to be cliched, but yes, things will improve for you. Life is not a straight line down or up. Life moves in cycles. I'm so sorry that you're going through a breakup. I've got a big heart too. It can hurt. It hurts me a lot when I deal with things like this. So let's see what the cards say about how your life will improve and the method of it. And then we'll talk about the next part, which is, when will you meet someone new? The Universe card, another key card. Here's the thing. This is saying that even right now, all of the little factors of your life, the things that seem so difficult, there's a purpose at play, and it is rearranging your life to find longer standing happiness, harmony, and to, it does say, yes, your ex, that relationship is finished, unfortunately, but it does say that the shape of your life that is forming now, and now and over the next few months, especially, it is bringing you to a place where you feel fulfilled. A lot of your rudimentary books on tarot will say that the universe of the world represents a sort of happily ever after. Um, I don't believe in happily ever after. I believe in a healthy life. But of course, like I said, things work in cycles. So there's always going to be a little rain, a little sunshine. It can be beautiful that way. So yes, the things you're going through right now, it is going to be easier. You are moving to that. Now, as far as you getting a new person in your life, the Six of Swords, I do feel it's someone that you know. And from the Six of Swords, I feel communication is coming from them very soon. Actually, it's ruled by Mercury. So that's one of our communication energies. So yeah, and this card right here, I usually read it to be middle of the year, the May, June time period. So yes, as far as them being someone you know, I don't think so. I think it's going to be there is someone you know in the picture, and they're going to communicate. But as I feel into this, I think that what's going to end up happening is you're going to be talking to two people, and in talking to two people, one of them is going to be from your past, but someone new is going to come in, and it's going to be very much them just knocking your socks off. So hang in there. I feel like something exciting and good is coming. Catherine, is my financial situation going to change soon? I hope so. I hope that on the world in general, we're all moving to more financial blessings. But let's see what the tarot says. The Queen of Wands. Yes, it is a sign of you taking control of your finances and your life. The card is called She Who Must Be Obeyed. Like any wands, it has a strong factor of manifestation. So part of this is going to be you, first off, declaring that you are moving to this level financially that you want to go to. Obviously, there's going to be more to it than that. But once we make a strong declaration of our intention, and when we have energy like Wands energy running through our lives, it means the universe is more apt to hear our intention and to bring things into focus. So I do feel like it's going to change soon. I want you to start today. I want you to have a simple meditation of a key that unlocks your finances. As far as it goes, this represents also emotions. When our money is wrong, we can be scared sometimes. Like, oh man, am I homeless? What's going to go on? All those sort of fears coming under control, and that energy shifting in a different direction. So hang in there. I absolutely feel like it's on the move, and stay positive and allow that inner ability to bring new results. Allow it to flourish and manifest. I know you have it. So as far as it goes, you'll have a noticeable change in this. Let me ask. We get the Fool, and that represents a few things. First off, inside, I think even by the end of the month, you're going to start feeling a little more inner space. And then as we move into, say, April and May, I feel like, the actual external circumstances, obviously, there are some things that aren't just going to change. If your job pays what it pays, that's not going to change. What this represents is using your creativity and manifestation ability to see other methods of bringing in money and other ways of making the income that you have stretch further, coupled with the universe allowing you a time of positive luck to build up your resources. So now I'm going to ask for an obstacle to this. The Hierophant, don't worry about the big plans. Focus on the little stuff. It'll come time to worry about the big plans later. But for now, just focus on what you need day to day to feel more secure in this situation. Okay. Lindsay. So what we're seeing here is we have another sort of situation where there's deep love, and maybe it's been intense, maybe not, but I do feel that this is something. Will he contact me? We get the Prince of Discs, but this is also something to ask yourself. It's any type of relationship tends to turn to be a cycle, a connected network, meaning you're connected to them, they're connected to you. Their actions affect you, your actions affect them. And a lot of times it may even be a situation where we ourselves reaching out and taking the initiative to get some sort of closure on the situation is the right thing to do. And another thing, love is beautiful. And I'm actually a romantic. I think I am. But the fact is, from the way that you're talking about this, this is the man that makes my heart feel at home. It's all about the heart, but the tarot has four parts. Heart is one, logic is one, and we have the wands, which is creativity, our inner desires, and then we have the discs, which is what is actually happening. Do we feel comfortable? So, I would say pull out of the heart area of this. I'm not saying don't love the guy, and I'm not saying don't focus on being in love, but I'm saying that when that is the main focus, we tend to mythologize our relationships. And then we say, oh, this is the one, and this is the person that is going to complete me. Well, guys, we got to complete ourselves. Now, we can have a partner that we love, and we can have a partner that we absolutely cherish and feel a spiritual bond with, but they're not going to complete us. They're not the ones. We can only complete ourselves. So one thing I would also say is maybe give yourself a little space. I find often, it's when we feel we don't need someone, ironically, is when it seems as if that this person wants to come to us. So these are considerations, and these are things that we go into a live reading. We do our best to find the actions that are going to help fix the situation, or if it's not fixable, then we got to be adults and move on. But I do feel that situation, it is workable, and so just hang in there. Cash, so confused. Been dating off and on, and I'm stuck between two people. Well, before we pull cards, consider this. You're allowed to date. Now, I'm not saying get super serious with both of them. And, that's something that you might want to pull back from. But the fact is, if you're unable to decide right now, that may mean that you need to date some more. It's okay to be casual. The main thing is to make sure everyone is on the same page. So we're looking at the two people, whether you should choose between one or the other. If you choose right now, 5 of Cups, you don't want that right now. You're not doing anything wrong in this situation. You're allowed to care about two people, but if you were to choose right now with the 5 of Cups showing, that means that if you were to choose one side, your heart would be in turmoil and you'd be wondering, oh, did I make the right choice? Thus, it's not time to make the choice. It's time to allow yourself the freedom and happiness to be in this situation. You're not doing anything wrong. Now, I say that, but I would say that if you're going to date two people and say, look, I'm not ready to decide about being serious, it's just going to be easier to let them both know, maybe. It's probably the right thing to do as well, because you know what? We don't need to toy with people's feelings. We want love. They want love. Everyone wants a happy, healthy relationship. So, take a little pressure off right now. Enjoy the fact that you're dating, that we're about to go into the spring. Things are going to be warmer and nice. If you communicate, this can be a beautiful time of your life. But one thing is, take the framework on that you have to be making a choice off of it, that you have to be making a choice right now. You surely don't. And that's the one thing I think that once you do, you will be surprised at just how happy you are and how happy they are. Everyone on the same page. And then once you make a choice, well, okay, you've made a choice. Your inner wisdom will have provided it. What you need to do is just give your inner wisdom enough time to decide. And even now, this non-answer is an answer. So just hang in there, communicate, and this will be fine. Oh, we have Ada. Can you tell me when I will get a job? Highly depressed. First off, sending good vibes. Whatever I can do. I know how hard it is When we don't have money, everything in our life seems uncertain. So I can understand you being depressed. So let's see what we can do to get you an answer from the tarot about this. You get the Four of Cups. This is a good card. It came up earlier, and it's funny when we first started talking about the Ace of Cups kind of being the motif, the flow of life. You're in a part right now that it feels like forever, but the actual reality is life is moving on. And it may be frightening to think that, well, I won't get a job and then I'll end up homeless or whatever. There's a lot of fears, but the fact of the matter is, it's not at that place right now. And with the Four of Cups, speaking specifically about timing, to me, it's also about coming into this next month or so. It's another card of the spring, like we talked about earlier. So, yes, you're taking the steps that you need to take. And the obstacle here for this is the Knight of Cups. Now, you may have to accept something that you don't feel like is on your level. And I understand that that can be frustrating. But I can tell you this, get a paycheck coming in now. Get that stability moving in, and then you can think about the bigger plan of things. But ultimately, I feel that the time of you being jobless is absolutely coming to an end. And as long as you don't feel like, with that Knight of Cups, it is like, oh, well, this is not beneath me, but I should be at a better place in life right now, is often what we might feel with an energy like that. And it is what it is. And a lot of times when we take something like this, a circuitous road to success, that's how life is. Most of the successful people that I know, and I've known people at the highest echelons of business, I've read for them, and this is how their story is as well. It's ups and downs, and their perseverance brought them to success. And I believe the same thing about you. Okay, we got a question from B. How is my love life going to turn out generally? Let's see here, generally. And this is one of those questions, we got to paint a broad picture because a love life is very nuanced. But generally, we get the Hanged Man, meaning it is time for a different perspective on things. The Hanged Man is not a good card or a bad card, but it does represent having to go deeper into ourselves. It's an introverted card. So, here's the thing with your love life, with something like this coming up, it says that your love life can actually take a much better path if you maybe take a moment, look inside, see what your heart really wants. Sometimes, and I'm not saying this is your situation particularly, but we date people and we think our mom wants us to date, or our friends want us to date, or even we're not introspective and we think we want to date them. But if we were to take a moment and to think about what we really want, we might find that our needs are actually different. So, this is a sign to take a pause. If we were doing a live session, I would say, you know what? You need to have a 2-month period that is all about self-celebration, not about filling a role or finding a person that completes us. As I spoke about earlier, that's not going to work anyways. But about you and who you are right now in your life. As you're facing the next step of your life, you still got tons of good years ahead of you. But you are at a point of your life where you may want to be thinking, what do I want my love life to look like in the coming years? So that's what I would recommend to you. Look for a change of perspective. And if so, I do feel that it's going to unlock the door to something really good. The Hanged Man is the key card, the elemental key card of water, and that's just a way of speaking about feelings. And when it comes up, it often leads us to a place where we're being fulfilled by our deepest feelings, but maybe we need to sacrifice something. So, and that's something maybe, like I said, our viewpoint or all sorts of things. So give it a little time. Think about it. And I think that if you do that, the universe is going to provide you with a partner that you like, and with a situation where you don't feel like you need a partner. We have J, Struggling with losing my twin flame. I feel like a reunion may come soon, but I'd like a confirmation if possible. Sure, I feel like a reunion is coming soon too. You know, when people talk about twin flames, I often feel like it's something that's burning intensely. And these can often represent intense relationships that go through cycles of coming close and moving apart. So to me, it's not about if they're going to come back. It's how can this intense burning passion be turned into something that isn't a cycle of them coming closer, moving away. And that's what we're really going to focus our tarot cards on this for, Jay. Let's see here. So the first thing we get is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups represents too much emotion. So what that means is when they come back, and let's talk about when they're going to come back. As far as soon goes, I feel like it's most likely going to be before the mid part of April. Specifically, I'm getting April 8th in my head, just an intuition. So they're coming back. And with something like the Seven of Cups, when they come back, it's going to be a positive release of all this really good emotion. Is how it's going to feel. And that's going to keep you guys from focusing on the areas that you need to focus on. Take the feelings out of it when they come back. Talk about the nitty gritty. Talk about why and have a difficult conversation. Now, in a live reading, this is often the point where a client may say, well, I don't want to scare the other person off, but that is never a fear. First off, if they are so easily scared off by talking about reality, you dodged a bullet. They did you a favor, because that's something we got to talk about as adults who want happy relationships. And what if you can't talk about that, you don't have anything. So I don't think that that's where you two are. The next card we get is the Empress. Healthy love. The Empress is what the Seven of Cups can ascend to be. The Lady of Love, Venus, everything being beautiful and balanced enough to grow and grow beyond the coming close, moving away sort of thing. Coming to a place where you actually have the same intensity, but it's focused way more in a positive way. So that's what I would say do before you go back into the on part of your cycle. Have a real conversation about the whys, about the expectations, and if they tell you what they tell you, you got to believe them. So I think that this will be fine. And with something like the Empress, it is a sign of transcending and getting past your obstacles. But I feel inspired to pull one more card for obstacles, and that's the Justice card. And when justice is an obstacle, it means letting perfect be the enemy of good enough. Meaning we might have this ideal, Justice card is the card of Libra. It's a very abstract thing. We have this thought of what the perfect relationship is. But when that comes up as an obstacle, we got to throw that away and let it be the messy, nitty gritty thing that it is. So that would be the only thing, is take it as it is. Don't take it as what you want it to be. And if you do so, this can turn into a good relationship for you. Jennifer, you are in love with Jay. Jennifer is in love with a friend who, it doesn't necessarily say that if they know, but it does emphasize that they are friends. So she wants to know how her friend Jay feels and if they will act on these feelings. So we will definitely, how Jay feels comfortable in the situation. He feels you are reliable. He feels you give him the right combination of support and emotions. And will he act on it? I would say that you guys are going to talk about it before there's action. He does care about you for sure, but I think that with something like this, the first thought I got was he doesn't want to mess up the status quo. Because at this point in the game, both of you, I'm sure, have been in a few relationships. And they, that if you start changing things, relationships can get messed up. And that's where he is. He's afraid that if this moves beyond what it's going to be, it's going to lead to a place where Knight of Swords, Consider this. Maybe he knows that once he gets locked into a relationship, he can get a little jerky. You know what I mean? Or he can be a little conflicted and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to show you his shadow side of things, which of course is normal, but in relationships, we got to see the whole shebang. So, I think that, is he going to act? You're going to speak about it in May. From that though, I do feel like you're probably better as friends. I think to move forward, it can happen, but really and truly, I just feel like there needs to be a little space before that happens. So, to give you a little sense of a plan here before we get too far off topic, you're going to speak in May. I do feel like it's going to be because it's the elephant in the room. And it's gone to the point where you're feeling love, he's feeling something. From there, maybe agree to move forward as friends with your feelings, because the fear I had was, if you try to move this forward into a relationship, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy on his part, and it's going to kind of crash and burn. So if you can let it be a slow burning thing, that's fine. But honestly, I would just say to cherish the friendship, cherish the love that is there, because he is right. It does seem as if it rushes. It could end up becoming something where his worst comes out, or it's just not what you want. So take it slow. But he does have affection. He does really care about you. Hi, my name is Jody Ann. When will I meet my soulmate? Well, Jody, it is lovely to meet you. I tend to not use that language. Because it just puts too many expectations on a partner. I tend to ask, when will I be in a happy, healthy relationship? But since we're doing this fun live chat, I will ask just like that. When will I meet my soulmate? The Three of Swords. The card is called the Lord of Uncomfortable Truths. And when it comes up, when we have to accept things about reality, and the thing is, you're going to be able to find a happy situation, but if you put them through that frame of the soulmate, it's never ever going to rise. And a lot of times a person ends up getting in these situations where they find someone, they care about them intensely, they feel the sort of things that they think would be a soulmate, but intense things tend to kind of yo-yo, and then they start wondering. So that is the cards really saying, take the pressure of the soulmate off. Instead, think about what you really actually need. You probably need someone who's reliable and caring, that you're attracted to, who probably has their own job, who is emotionally available, and who is healthy. And those are the actual things that are the building blocks of a relationship. So in a live reading, that's where we would focus. We would focus on saying, okay, what's your main need? Okay, is it reliability? Is it trust, loyalty, or is it a mixture of all of those? You can have a partner who will cherish you and treat you like you deserve to be treated, but I would take the framework of the soulmate off. Just let them be a person. Let them be a person that can be good for you, and that's enough. It really is. Okay. Looks like we have another job reading going up here. Um, will there be a job soon? And we are getting the death card. Yes, intense transformations. The death card, some people are scared of it. I don't think you should be scared of it. It does represent times that can be, I guess, psychologically intense, full of anxiety, as things are literally changing. But the death card always represents a rebirth. It is, the main point of the death card is not the fact that life seems uncertain or the changes in life seem to be intense, but the promise of the death card is, after you go through all of this, you end up being in a place where you actually are more in touch with yourself. You've recovered things that you've lost. Now, in the frame of a frame of a work reading, this does represent success, but it also represents internal change that helps you go into the next level. So you find a job soon. Let's talk about the timing. we get the High Priestess. I would say that's within a month. That's the card of the moon. So a lot of times when I do timing, I'm looking at all sorts of factors. Sometimes it's the astrology associated with the cards. Sometimes it's other factors. In the case of the High Priestess, I always look at it in terms of moon cycles, 28-day cycles. So when we get the High Priestess as a timing card, I always think, okay, it's going to happen within the next 28 days or so. And then from there, I'll feel so where in that 28-day period is it? So I'll be like, okay, my intuition feels like it's going to be more in the first half of it. So more in the next 2 weeks rather than the next 4 weeks. So I hope that helps. Okay. We have Shateria, and she wants to know about Maliki, an ex-boyfriend that they've separated, and now we need to know if they're going to reunite and how their ex is feeling about them. So let's see here. And we're going to give it 2 more shuffles. Extra special shuffle just for you. So, my, our Ace of Cups. Isn't that a lot of fun? If you weren't here at the beginning, it's the first card we drew. It has been weaving in and out of our session here. Rebirth of affection. The seed, the aces in tarot represent the seeds. So it's coming. The seeds have already been planted, which means that within their heart, their mind, and all the external things, all the little factors are coming together. So this is a very good sign. It does show a rebirth. Now we're going to ask, is this going to be something that is an actual change from any drama? Yes, the Fool is the card of innocence. It is also a very, very deep card that we're not going to go into all the depths of it, but suffice it to say that when the Fool comes up, it's like the universe protecting a situation, helping it have space. And in general, it's a very good card. It's also a card of beginning. So I do feel like they're coming back. Something to me tells me, though, and it's not a matter of the cards being positive or negative. We pull the Sun card, which is one of our most positive cards in the deck, but you guys need time. It's not going to be April or May. It feels more July, mid-July, it feels like. And I think that growth has to happen. Those seeds, the seed of affection, they have to go through life experiences that allow them to reflect and say, oh, in my past relationship, I didn't want to do this, to put the effort forward in order to be the partner that you need. So they'll come back. And, folks, it's very rarely an issue of people coming back. It is, can we get out of whatever pattern is causing conflict? 9 times out of 10, they're going to come back. That's not the hard part of predicting. It is, what do we need to do to get out of this conflict? And what do we need to do to find happiness and joy in life? So always keep that in mind. Trying to find another job. Can you help me with my career path? So you're putting in the effort and you're pushing. Hopefully, you're already employed, so you have a little bit of cushion, but maybe not. So let's see. With the effort you're putting in right now, let's ask the question a little differently. We'll say, with the effort you're putting in right now, will you find a job within 1 month of today? And, if you're a reader yourself, or just you wonder how timing it is, we can do timing in many different ways. And very often the question itself is as important as the answer. Will you find it within a month from now? Unfortunately, no. This is a sign. Now, is the fact that I gave you a no answer a bad thing? No. What it means is you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to look at your efforts. Swords are all about logic. So basically, audit the process. I know you're probably sick and tired of filling applications, going interviews, whatever, but just take an hour, sit and look at your effort, where you're applying, if you're using a certain service. And what you need to do is you need to change things around. And if you do that, we get a much better card. The Ace of Discs or coins are money energy. So I think it just needs a little bit of adjustment. I feel the places that you're searching right now are not right. So just do that. And I feel if you do that, you'll clear the energy up. So it's just a minor little blockage. Work on that. Think about it, and if you have any questions about how to do that, you can always hit me up on Kasamba. We can get through it. Okay, Anna, will me and my ex get back together? I hope so. Let's see. And this is one of those things that we're just going to ask her yes or no. We're not going to ask anything about feelings, but just as they are right now, will you get back together? And when we do that, yes, but don't bury the issues. Four Swords is not the end of conflict. That would be Two of Swords. Four Swords is enough time to work on your issues to repair the situation. Now, if you don't work on the issues, that time is only limited. So if you just say, oh, well, we'll ignore the issues, you're going to go find yourself right back where you are. But if you're able to do the hard work with love, of course, you'll be able to reunite. Now, Four Swords, timing wise, I'm actually going to pull another card. And for that, we get the Knight of Discs. And that does feel like we're getting more on towards the fall. So I don't think it's going to be soon. I think that we're really looking like more towards, I feel, August. So a little ways off. Chances are, though, you both need something in that time period. Life experiences. A lot of times the universe will take us on these paths so that we avoid a greater misfortune. Even though it can be frustrating, it may be that by taking a little bit of a roundabout path, the universe is actually doing us a kindness, and it's allowing us to grow, it's allowing them to grow, and it's allowing situations to develop. I believe there is wisdom in the universe. I believe there's wisdom within ourselves. And I believe that while things don't always go the best they could, that we do have a strong ability to manifest positive paths in our life. And I feel tarot is one of the best ways that we can do that. It's one of the best tools we have. So, when will I get engaged to TC? This is from Lico 128. But I will ask if you will get engaged to TC. And with that, we get the Seven of Discs. It is a minor obstacle, meaning the path can be changed. But as of right now, you two are not headed towards engagement. It's not about feeling, it's about planning. And the thing is, with something like that, maybe TC is a little too comfortable. Maybe TC is feeling like, well, the relationship is here. What do I need to get engaged for? Whatever the reason is, it's not a lack of feeling. It is a lack of desire for change, meaning they're probably in a rut. So if you need this, you need to have a conversation with them, shake them up a little bit, let them know what you need. Okay. And we're looking again at, someone being in love with a friend, and a situation where there's most likely a lot of affection between them and a lot of unrequited, unsaid things. And once again, in a situation like this, you cannot just focus on the heart level. It's very easy to mythologize our relationships, especially if there's this good, deep rapport from friendship involved. We might start making it all about the love. So, I think that anytime that you're changing a friendship, you have to ask, does it serve the situation? Now, in this particular one, we get the Four of Wands. It's a growth card, but it does almost have a sense of moving against the flow of things. I would say take time. I do think that the feelings will be discussed, but with the Four of Wands, I once again, like with our past friend relationship situation, I feel as if it's something that will be better as a friendship. and ask yourself if you can accept that. One thing that I would never say is don't. I see this quite a bit, and that is we accept less than what we want. We say, oh, well, if I just become their friend, then maybe 6 months down the road, they'll see all the good I'm doing for them, and they'll learn to love me. And that's beautiful. And but it doesn't work that way. It's love is love. And I think that if you want someone to be your partner, seek that. Or if you have found that they're not trying to be your partner and you can accept being friends, accept it. Don't act under like, okay, I'm going to be your friend and expect growth, because that'll lead to heartache. And frankly, a lot of times we tunnel vision on people close to us when there are other options. And if we were to allow the universe just to flow, just have a little bit of faith in the process and to flow, and to always demand what you're worth. You don't ever have to change to make someone happy. You're okay like you are. Now, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, y'all. Some people like sweet tea, like some people like green tea. I'm from the South. I like sweet tea and green tea. But the fact is, everyone's got their own thing that they like, and it's not a reflection on your self-worth if that's not what your friend wants. So think about that. Chances are you may already know how they feel. But this is something, if you want to come see me live, you can always come see me. We can get a little deeper into it. But I think a lot of times, if someone is telling us one thing, we should take them at their word. All right. Cindy, and they are in a no contact separation from my person. Is there reconciling for us? Let's take a look. But I would definitely say, once again, and you've probably heard me say it before, with that my person, make sure that you don't think that they're, or feel that they're the only person that can bring you happiness and health. And the reason, for a lot of reasons, a lot of times when we feel like I have to have just this one person, it puts a lot of psychic pressure on the relationship. So I don't know if that's how you're feeling, but just a little FYI there. So take a look here. The Wheel of Fortune. Yes, this is a situation that is going to go through a major positive renovation. This is going to happen before the end of May. That timing is on the intuition. Sometimes it's from the cards, sometimes it's from the intuition. But I do feel not only is it going to be something where you reunite and start talking, but you actually reconcile. You don't go back into what we've been talking about, the old patterns, and just do the same old, same old. You come to a place where you can actually meet as equals, and there is a mutual desire to grow forward. So I think that you're going to reconcile. I think, Cindy, based off of the Wheel of Fortune, and of course, we, in a live reading, we would pull more cards. We would look deeper, and there would be more of a deeper connection there. But from what I'm seeing here, just hang in there, okay? I do feel there will be a reconciliation. All right. It looks like we have a question from B, just a general love life situation. And let's see here. The Prince of Discs. When we get the Prince of Discs for like a general love life situation, the main thing it is saying is that things are still moving. Circumstances are still changing. You might find interesting people to date, but I would keep it casual. Let them take you out to dinner or just hang out or whatnot. But I would definitely say don't focus on finding the right one just yet. That's coming. And of course, we all want to find that person that completes us. It's not about that. I'm not saying just be satisfied with short term or people that don't fit. I'm saying that for everything, there's a season. And the main thing, if we're asking how love is going to turn out, the main thing is it's going to keep growing. It's going to keep changing. And, you have a strong part in the outcome of that as well. So it's really about having a good idea of what you want, not settling for less. But the coming months, don't worry about locking it in. Have fun, celebrate yourself. And in doing so, I feel like you are going to be able to be in a relationship by the end of the year that is going to be very happy and helpful for you. Okay. We have Julie, and they are talking about Isaiah. And do they really love me? And let me take a moment to talk about love. As someone who I've probably done 100,000 tarot readings in my life, a lot of them about love, not all of them. Love is action. It is only action. Now, someone may feel a certain way in their heart and in their mind, but if they're not expressing it into action, that's not love. So anytime I get a question like this, I don't mean to sound like a smarty pants, but I always ask, are they making loving actions? Now, we're going to pull a card about their real feelings here. And we get the Prince of Cups. So something like the Prince of Cups, they do care about you very much, but they are still growing and understanding what they want and where things are going in their life. I think that it is something that it can grow into deeper affection, but definitely like kind of like almost the same advice I gave the last person, let it be for the moment. Don't put too much pressure on it now. Get good experiences between you. Make happy memories between you. Those are the building blocks of a good life. That's one of the most important things. The other one is know yourself, know your own worth. And, if they're giving you loving actions, if you feel celebrated, then you're in a good relationship, whether it's your soulmate, your twin flame. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe in the depth of romantic love that was represented by soulmates. I do. And but the thing is, I feel like terms like this, we have to use them just like cayenne pepper, very, very sparingly. They add spice to life, but they can drown things out. So, definitely always keep it real. And that's why the tarot has 4 parts. It says if the love is right, look at the logic. Are they logically acting correctly? They're not acting shady or anything? Fine. Look at the actions. Look at how it's making you feel. Take a multivariate approach. So anyways, I hope that helps. And we got one from Petra. Can you tell me the opinion of people at work? Sure. Let's take a look there. Your general reputation, of course, is important. My old man always said before he passed that your reputation is one of the most important things that you do have. So we pull the Queen of Discs, practical, efficient, empathic, a good listener, with the 6 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. For the most part, positive, but I think the 8 of Cups is kind of saying that, there are several people in your office that are dealing with their own issues. Like they may, maybe if they seem aloof, it's not necessarily about you, because the Queen of Discs is a very positive card, very practical, showing someone who definitely is both appreciated for what they can do, but also for their personality. So I think that you do have respect at work. And if it seems like people, all over the world, we just went through a lot. And I think that a lot of people we never know what people are dealing with. So I do feel like you've got their respect. I do feel that they care about you. And, I think that every interaction that you have, you just never know how you touch people. So always keep that in mind. Even if you don't feel like a light, you might be one. Even if you don't feel like you're bringing anything, chances are you are. You never know where your wisdom is going to touch someone else. And if you feel like you don't have wisdom, there's someone on this planet that probably feels like you're the wisest person around. So, the main thing is we're all unique. We all have the ability to live beautiful, happy, fulfilled lives. For 20 years, I've really been privileged to read cards professionally. I learned from my mom, and it's allowed me to talk to people all over the world and really get to know people and understand that we're all the same. In every country, we all face the same things. And if we can just be a little kinder to each other, kinder to ourselves, I think life would be a more beautiful place. Anyways, I hope this helps. You have a great day. It's been lovely talking to you. Mm. Bye now.